Hey there, this is Malte from Road Spirit. Welcome back to our channel. Today we have something really exciting in store for you. We're going to take you on a journey across the United States and share one fun fact about each state. From the bustling cities to the serene countryside, America is a land of diversity and rich history. So, let's dive right in. Alabama was the first state to recognize Christmas as an official holiday. The Christmas holiday season is one of the most looked forward to times of the year for millions in the country. Gifts are given, families gather together, and trees are brought inside to hold fragile spheres. It seems like it's always been a part of the country's social fabric. But the United States didn't make the holiday official until 1870. This came after Alabama's leadership in the category. They made Christmas a recognized holiday in 1863. Did you know that Alaska is home to over half the world's glaciers? With an estimated over 100,000 glaciers, this state is a true icy wonderland. Alaska is one of the most heavily glaciated areas in the world outside of the polar regions. Approximately 23,000 square miles of the state are covered in glaciers, an area nearly the size of West Virginia. Glaciers have shaped much of Alaska's landscape and continue to influence its lands, waters, and ecosystems. Phoenix is the hottest city in the United States between June and September. The average high temperature in Phoenix is over 100 F, 37.7 C. Sure, there is low humidity, but there is little escape from the heat in many parts of the city, making it the hottest city in the U.S. For comparison, the average high temperature in Miami in August, its hottest month, is 88 F, 31.1 C. However, the city has a unique plan to address this concern, and it's working wonders. The plan is simple: plant more trees. While it may sound silly, planting trees provides shade and offers a cooling effect for a lot less money than any modern technology could do. Arkansas is home to the only active diamond mine in the United States, the Crater of Diamonds State Park. Also, the public can search for real diamonds in their original volcanic source. Visitors to the park search a 37-acre field, the eroded surface of a volcanic crater, for a variety of rocks, minerals, and gemstones. And any rock or mineral you find is yours to keep. California has over 300 ghost towns, hamlets that were once thriving villages, eventually deserted by their inhabitants for one reason or another, and left to decay over time, with no hope of anyone ever coming back to claim them as home. These abandoned towns are all over the country, but many are a result of the Gold Rush era expansion into the Wild West. Colorado boasts the highest paved road in North America, the Mount Evans Scenic Byway. It rises to a height of 1,430 feet above sea level. Many clouds don't even make it that high, but you can. As you would expect, the views up to Mount Blue Sky are breathtaking, with alpine lakes, massive granite walls, and stands of twisted, ancient bristlecone pine. Keep your eyes peeled for mountain goats and bighorn sheep. The first hamburger was served at Lewis's Lunch in New Haven, Connecticut, in 1895. Family-owned and operated by the fourth-generation Lassen family, Lewis's Lunch currently serves as one of the oldest family-run businesses in the country. Recognized by the Library of Congress as the birthplace of the hamburger sandwich, Lewis's Lunch has been featured in the Travel Channel, the Food Network, Zagat, Food and Wine magazine, among many others. .8% of Fortune 500 companies are Delaware entities. At the same time, Delaware is the least populated state. Examples of the companies are Google parent company Alphabet, Amazon, CVS Health, and CNBC parent company Comcast. One of Delaware's major advantages is its Court of Chancery, which is a separate court system specifically for handling corporate cases. Florida produces more than 70% of the country's oranges. Even though oranges and citrus fruits can be found around the world, we know that the best orange juice comes from Florida. Florida orange juice is well known for being rich in vitamin C, and one 8-ounce glass of orange juice provides more than 100% of the recommended daily value. Georgia is home to the world's largest drive-in restaurant, the Varsity in Atlanta. This enormous restaurant sits on 2 city blocks and can accommodate 800 diners inside. Opened in 1928, this store quickly gained the reputation of being the world's largest drive-in. Hawaii is one of 2 U.S. states that grows coffee commercially. Coffee first arrived in Hawaii around 1820. Hawaiian weather helped the crop flourish, and at the 1873 World Fair, Kona coffee was internationally recognized. Hawaiian coffee brews smooth, with floral, fruity scents floating from harvested coffee berries. Idaho produces more potatoes than any other state in the U.S. It produces nearly 1/3 of all U.S. potatoes. Idaho's growers produce more than 100 million hundredweight of potatoes annually, on more than 300,000 acres. Warm days, cool evenings, and fertile volcanic soils are ideal for tuber sets, producing a potato with a high solid count. The secret behind fluffy bakers and firm French fries. The world's first skyscraper, the Home Insurance Building, was built in Chicago in 1885. Originally 10 stories and 138 feet or 42 meters tall, it was designed by William LeBaron Jenney in 1884 and completed the next year. 2 floors were added in 1891, bringing its now finished height to 180 feet or 55 meters. It was the first tall building to be supported both inside and outside by a fireproof structural steel frame, though it also included reinforced concrete. The first successful goldfish farm, Grassy Fork Fisheries, in the United States was established by Eugene Shireman in Martinsville, Indiana, in 1899. Shireman inherited swampy land in Martinsville that was ill-suited for farming, and at the time goldfish were gaining popularity within the United States. In 1902, Shireman purchased 200 breeding goldfish to start his farm. He then sold the offspring to businesses and retail stores. The U.S. high school system was founded in Iowa. In the 1910s, Iowa developed a form of secondary school which was recreated in the same fashion all over the state. This longer and more standardized schooling system began to show precise results, and it became understood that the longer you spent in school, the higher your income would be. Kansas is home to the largest ball of twine in the world, located in Cocker City. In Cocker City, Kansas, Frank Stober created a ball that had 1.6 million feet, or 490,000 meters of twine and 11-foot diameter when he died in 1974. The Happy Birthday song was created in Kentucky. In 1896, sisters Mildred and Patty Hill were looking for songs to sing in Patty's kindergarten class in Louisville. They wrote a simple tune with simple lyrics called Good Morning to All. When a student had a birthday, the class substituted the words, Happy Birthday to You. The Superdome in New Orleans is the largest fixed dome structures in the world. It has a diameter of 680 feet. The area of the roof is 9.7 acres, or 440,000 square feet. From the Superdome floor, the roof reaches 273 feet. It could comfortably house another landmark of the New Orleans skyline, St. Louis Cathedral in Jackson Square, which stands at 172 feet. Maine produces 90% of the country's lobster supply. The Maine lobster yield is 40 million pounds annually. With about 4,500 active lobstermen, lobster fishing is an important part of the economy of the state of Maine. Hardly a restaurant in Maine doesn't offer the succulent crustacean on its menu. Think Lazy Man's Lobster, Lobster Mac and Cheese, and Lobster Benny's, to name a few. And Maine lobster is healthy for you. The first umbrella factory in the United States was established in Baltimore, Maryland in 1828. The Beeler Umbrella Factory was founded by German immigrant Francis Beeler. The company's success as the first umbrella manufacturer in the United States spawned numerous imitators, and by the early 20th century, Baltimore was shipping out more than 1.5 million umbrellas annually. Basketball was invented in Springfield, Massachusetts. The game was invented by Springfield College instructor and graduate student James Naismith in 1891, and has grown into the worldwide athletic phenomenon we know it to be today. There's a floating post office. Michigan is home to the only floating post office in the world, J.W. Westcott II. And it is an actual post office, not just some boat that delivers mail. Captain John W. Westcott formed the Westcott Company in 1874, beginning with ferrying supplies to passing and waiting ships in the Detroit River. In 1895, he began mail delivery. Water skiing was invented in Minnesota in 1922. In 1966, after much debate around the world about who, when, and where water skiing originated, it was officially declared by the American Water Ski Association and accepted by other worldwide water ski organizations that it was indeed Ralph Samuelson, July 2, 1922, in Lake City, Minnesota, who invented water skiing. No one has been able to predate any claim to that fact. Mississippi opened the first public college for women in the United States. When Mississippi University for Women was chartered in 1884, it made educational history as the first state-supported college for women in America. Its founding mothers had been persistent and tireless in their efforts, which had spanned over 20 years. St. Louis, Missouri, hosted the first Olympic Games held in the United States in 1904. Back then, the United States won 231 medals, setting a record that still stands today. The Soviet Union came closest to beating the record with 195 medals at the 1980 Summer Olympics and currently lies in second place. The largest snowflake ever recorded landed in Montana. A giant snowflake discovered by Matt Coleman, a ranch owner in Fort Keogh, Montana, in 1887, measured 15 inches or 38.1 centimeters wide and 8 inches or 20.3 centimeters tall. The Elephant Hall at the University of Nebraska State Museum features the largest mammoth fossil on display anywhere in the world. Archie, the Columbian mammoth, is literally a giant among giants. 14 feet tall and striding on bizarre, stilt-like legs, he towers over the 12 other extinct and extant proboscideans in the museum's Great Hall. Nevada is home to the highest number of hotel rooms per capita in the United States. Nestled in the Mojave Desert, Las Vegas stands as a beacon for travelers seeking world-class entertainment and accommodations. Only in Las Vegas there are more than 169,000 hotel rooms. New Hampshire is the only state in the U.S. with no mandatory seatbelt law for adults. New Hampshire has the lowest seatbelt use in the country, at 76% compared with 90% as the national average, according to the advocate group citizenscount.org. Countering this statistic is the fact that New Hampshire ranks in the top 10 states safest for drivers. New Jersey has the most diners in the world and is often referred to as the diner capital of the world. Many Americans love diners, but in New Jersey the love of diners is ingrained in the state's culture. An unofficial New Jersey Diner Coalition estimates that there are around 450 diners in the state, more per capita than any other state in the United States. It's home to the largest hot air balloon festival in the world. So, why is Albuquerque known as the hot air ballooning capital of the world? Because of the unique, pristine ballooning conditions that Albuquerque offers, casual ballooning was able to evolve into the biggest balloon festival on the planet. The area offers a stunning landscape with plenty of open space for balloons to take off, land, and float through the sky with breathtaking views of New Mexico's one-of-a-kind landscape. New York City's Central Park is larger than Monaco, San Marino, and Vatican City combined. It is the sixth largest park in the city, containing 843 acres, 341 hectares, and the most visited urban park in the United States. It is estimated 42 million visitors annually as of 2016. It also was the first landscaped park in the United States. North Carolina is home to the oldest public university in the United States, the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. In 1789, William Richardson Davie wrote the act that established the university. In 1793, he and fellow trustees laid the cornerstone of the first building, Old East. Students arrived in 1795, and UNC became the only public university to award degrees in the 18th century. Rugby, North Dakota, is the geographical center of North America. Since 1931, a stone monument in Rugby marks the area that some say is the geographical center of our North American continent. Ohio is home to the first professional baseball team, the Cincinnati Red Stockings, established in 1869. Harry Wright, a baseball enthusiast living in Cincinnati, formed the first baseball team made up entirely of professional players. The Red Stockings demonstrated baseball was a viable business enterprise and paved the way for professional baseball in America. The world's first parking meter, known as Parkometer No. 1, is installed on the southeast corner of what was then 1st Street and Robinson Avenue in Oklahoma City on July 16, 1935. The parking meter was the brainchild of a man named Carl C. Magee, who moved to Oklahoma City from New Mexico in 1927. Crater Lake is a caldera lake in the U.S. state of Oregon. It is the main attraction of Crater Lake National Park. It is famous for its blue color and clear water. The lake partly fills a nearly 2,148-foot or 655-meter deep caldera. The volcanic crater was formed by the collapse of the volcano, Mount Mazama, about 7,500 years ago. Philadelphia is home to the Liberty Bell, which is perhaps one of the most iconic symbols of American independence. Tradition tells of a chime that changed the world on July 8, 1776, with the Liberty Bell ringing out from the tower of Independence Hall, summoning the citizens of Philadelphia to hear the first public reading of the Declaration of Independence by Colonel John Nixon. The first circus in the United States was in Newport in 1774. On 24th of May of that year, equestrian Christopher H. Gardner attracted as many 3,000 residents to watch his trick riding and comedic equestrian skits at an enclosure in the north end of Newport. Later, circuses traveled with menageries of exotic animals and birds. Over time, the menageries were trained and incorporated into the circus performance. South Carolina is home to the first tea farm in the United States. The Charleston Tea Plantation is a unique attraction along secluded Wadmalaw Island, with an equally unique claim to fame. As the proclaimed only tea garden in the United States and the country's only tea plantation, the site has a long history of churning out America's only locally grown brew, a legacy that modern visitors can still enjoy on any sunny Charleston County afternoon visit. In South Dakota, you can explore one of the longest and most complicated cave systems on the planet. Named for the crystals that line its walls, Jewel Cave is the third longest cave in the world and features calcite crystals and formations of boxwork, cave popcorn, and a long ribbon drapery known as cave bacon. Nearby, Wind Cave is the sixth longest cave in the world and home of the world's largest concentration of rare boxwork formations. Cotton candy was born here. Machine-spun cotton candy was invented in 1897 by dentist William Morrison and confectioner John C. Wharton, and first introduced to a wide audience at the 1904 World's Fair as fairy floss with great success, selling 68,655 boxes at 25 cents per box, which would be worth $8.48 today. Texas is home to the world's largest rodeo. The Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, also called Rodeo Houston, or abbreviated HLSR, is the largest livestock exhibition and rodeo in the world. It includes one of the richest regular season professional rodeo events. It has been held at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas, since 2003. Utah is the only state whose capital is 3 words long. At one point it was even longer. Salt Lake City was originally named Great Salt Lake City for its proximity to the Great Salt Lake, but they decided to drop the Great in 1868. Montpelier, Vermont is the only U.S. state capital without a McDonald's restaurant. Montpelier is the smallest state capital in terms of population, with only about 7,500 people. In addition to being on the small side, Montpelier tends to favor local businesses over large chains, so McDonald's shouldn't take it personally. The city doesn't have a Burger King either. Virginia is known as the Mother of Presidents because it's the birthplace of more U.S. presidents than any other state. These 8 former U.S. presidents were born in Virginia: George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, James Monroe, William Henry Harrison, John Tyler, Zachary Taylor, and Woodrow Wilson. The world's first Starbucks opened in Seattle, Washington, in 1971. Starbucks first opened its doors on March 30, 1971, at Seattle's historic Pike Place Market. It was an understated debut, a 1,000-square-foot mercantile space manned by a single employee. West Virginia's New River Gorge Bridge is the longest steel arch bridge in the Western Hemisphere. The bridge is a continuous span, open spandrel arch truss bridge constructed of steel. The overall length of the bridge is 3,030 feet and 6 inches, measured from center to center of end bearings. The arch, the longest steel arch in the United States, measures 1,700 feet. The width of the bridge is 73 feet 5 inches to the outside of the parapet walls. Wisconsin is known as America's Dairyland and is the leading producer of cheese in the United States. With more than 10,000 dairy farms and 134 processing plants, Wisconsin is the undisputed leader in cheese production. In 2022, 3.5 billion pounds of cheese were produced in Wisconsin. Wyoming was the first state to grant women the right to vote. Governor John A. Campbell appreciated the publicity power of the policy and signed the bill into law, making Wyoming the first territory or state in the history of the nation to grant women this fundamental right of citizenship. And that's a wrap. We've covered just a fraction of the fascinating facts about each state in the United States. From natural wonders to historical landmarks, there's so much to explore and learn. We hope you enjoyed this whirlwind tour and that it has sparked your curiosity to delve deeper into the wonders of America. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content. And as always, feel free to leave a comment down below with your favorite fun fact about any state. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.